Bramborough back with Grand Tactician Civil War. Union campaign, very hard difficulty, elevated aggression in version 1.07. This episode's a little different. No big battles per se, but there's several smaller actions as substantial activity occurs on the campaign map out west. There's a lot of Army movement on both sides in Tennessee and the Trans-Mississippi. And new threats, new Confederate armies emerge in Tennessee, which kind of changed the situation there. Grant, McClellan, and Nathaniel Lyon, they all need to stay sharp in this one. Let's see what happens. Not much to talk about for finances, policies, and projects because time hasn't really advanced. We've upped the ag and industry subsidies a little bit in finance. We're still working on Tariff Act, and there are no desired projects anywhere close to picking up. Theaters, east to west. Still working on Cape Hatteras here, and it's weird. Up here in this tooltip at the top, Battle of Fort Hatteras, 98% chance of victory. Here, though, it's showing a balance in their favor. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. There's 2,100 men, stable morale for Banks. There's 3 dudes in a broken battery in a 15% fort condition. I'm going to... There's no assault option because you can't do a tactical battle unless there's a field army on the other side. I'm going to auto-resolve an assault. See if that helps or does it any faster. Meanwhile, I'm just going to... This fleet isn't doing anything, so I am going to send it back up to port. Well, I'm just going to give them the return to port. That's fine. Yeah, that's a Union port, and that'll bring him into contact and take care of this North Carolina squadron. That's great. Bring him into port to my assumption. I've never actually tracked it out. My assumption is that when a fleet is in port, it will repair a little bit faster. But that's an assumption. Does anyone know for sure whether that happens or not? Okay, so we just had this pretty large battle last episode in Virginia with pretty much all the corps in Virginia, both ours and theirs, involved. And that was a victory for the Union. Although I got to say, not a bad battle from the Confederate side. We took some losses there, about, I think it was almost 5,000 men. So these involved CSA Corps, the Army of the Northwest, the Army of Northern Virginia, and I think the Hampton Legion should be retreating soon. Worth noting, Army of Shenandoah and Army of the Potomac, the Confederate Army of the Potomac, were not in that battle. So they may come north in the wake of this. Other than that, still building our forts here. I really should have done that over the winter. And 10th Corps still on orange readiness. We do have this supply depot finished building here now. And it's getting some stuff in it. No artillery ammo. How is Cadwallader doing on his telegraph station? Still working on it. Grant still sitting at Nashville. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Grant's army is sitting pretty much immobile, is static in Nashville, serving a purpose, right? The Confederates are interested in Nashville. Grant's defending it. The attention of these armies coming in on, Army of Tennessee hasn't come yet, but Grant's presence here with the Army of the Tennessee is leaving the Army of the Mississippi free to work on these forts over here without being interfered with, right? Grant is drawing the troops to him so that McClellan can finish capturing Forts Henry and Donelson. That said, I'm kind of tempted to do the same thing here. Would it be faster to auto-resolve an assault here? I don't know. I don't know if it will make it any faster. Let's do it anyway. And then over here in Arkansas, it's kind of a same question. We have a fort here that we're kind of besieging for the second time. We won a tactical battle here, but the fort did not fall. These armies, they regained their readiness and started looking like they were going to move back. However, they have stopped and are in defensive mode. I'm going to do the same thing here. This fort is at 0 condition. 0 combat. Oh, that's me. 0 condition, 0 fort firepower. I don't know why this is showing as 0 men. That doesn't make any sense. The core is reflected as being present. Maybe time just needs to roll on that. Anyway, I'm going to auto-resolve an assault on this thing too. That should mean we capture those forts faster. We're doing it in 3 places right now. Whether it actually does, well, I'm probably about to learn another rueful lesson in Grand Tactician auto-resolve. And let's see, what's down here? Available constructions: brickworks, mills, saltworks. How are we doing on bricks? That is, I'm not sure I should trust this information because time hasn't been rolling. We actually, yeah, much more demand than there is production. However, it's a low value item. The price isn't real high on these things. And it's been dropping. It's kind of, yeah, I'm not going to build a brickworks. Is it listed in our production shortages? No. Yeah, I'm not going to build a brickworks. That obviously was not the right thing to do at Fort Smith. Boom, that was immediate. Okay, well, all right. So, yeah, that's a setback. Especially after that tactical battle, this whole thing doesn't smell right. But a lion will retreat. He's got infantry coming. He's got additional artillery coming. He's going to fall back probably to Carrollton, Arkansas, get his men and guns, and then we'll come back. It's still irritating. Okay, fair enough. I don't know if it really makes any change to auto-resolve an assault. Oh. Stevens just picked up his second perk, though. We'll go with the ambulance corps. Mexico shenanigans with the French. What about this other corps here? Okay, so we just cleared that squadron away from Elizabeth City. which disintegrated, and now the battle squadron is in port repairing. Good, good. It's all fine. How about this thing? Is this going any better? All right. So contact here from Sterling Price. Sherman in command. I don't know why Sherman is in command, because he is not. He's the commander of the 5th Corps, first contact, but why doesn't it show Grant? And it's not a seniority thing. I even double checked that in the officers when I ranked them by seniority, and Grant is senior to Sherman. He was promoted to Major General before I promoted Sherman. Anyway, does it matter? No. It's just a little, to use a somewhat overused term in gaming, it's immersion breaking. All right. And the reason I sound a little kind of, I don't know if Price is just going to retreat out of this battle. And that happens sometimes now, especially in 1.07. You enter a battle, you have a superiority in men, or a defensive position that's just kind of unbreakable, and the AI just retreats at the beginning before any units even spot each other. Now, on the one hand, that is not necessarily unreasonable, right? If it's a no-win situation and the right move is to retreat, then fine. However, if it's that lopsided anyway, then why is this army attacking at all? You know, why, when it makes contact, it doesn't just go into withdrawal rearguard mode on the campaign map, which also happens all the time, right? So, I don't know. It's not a huge deal. It's just this, when that happens, it just kind of wastes a little bit of time. So I'll stop talking, get in there, and first I'm just going to see if they're going to retreat. We're on the Murfreesboro map, as is the case for pretty much all of these Nashville battles. Defensive situation, here's the objective, here's Grant's army, and here are the Confederates, visible right here on the edge of the deployment zone, right close to the objective. And, okay, I'm not going to give him the choice of whether he wants to wait for his reinforcements or withdraw or whatever. I'm just going to set up the line right in here, and we're going to immediately fight the battle as soon as I press play. Okay, about as simple a position as can be put together, and the corps are stacked up quite tightly in here. This is Hooker's Corps, this is Sherman's Corps. You see where the rifled artillery is back here, and the howitzers are kind of behind the line a little bit, and a cav brigade on each flank. Used up what engineering points I had on this one parapet line, and I think we are within range of these units here. We're going to dispense with skirmishers and just hit play. This rifled artillery could have been up a little closer. It didn't look that far back when I was up here on the map view. It's not withdrawing. He's making an attack right here with this cav. Division is moving up, giving it a game try before the inevitable result. Got a lot of brigades closely spaced in here for kind of a multiplicative effect on firepower. All these rebels in these woods do have woods cover. But of course, our guys have parapet cover, and they've almost all got the Ace of Spades perk. But 51st Brigade, California troops here. There's a routed unit here, routed unit here, and that's just the way it's going to be. This artillery is starting to waver. That artillery's gone. This calf here is starting to fall back. Get this cab up a little bit here. Wharton's brigade wavering and falling back. Sheffield's regiment wavering and falling back. We've taken 1,500 casualties in, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes of game time. And yeah, I mean, I drew the line right on the deployment line. I kind of cheesed that a little bit, I did. But I didn't want this battle taking up, the entire episode. I'm trying to get some campaign map progress going. Okay, they're falling back. Not form. We're essentially in the retreat phase now. They're withdrawing. Okay, well, I thought I had recorded the battle result and the newspaper headline and the captured guys and weapons and all that, but apparently I did not. Yeah, it was about 12% casualties on their side. It was a minor victory. I didn't bother pursuing during the retreat phase. And these armies should be retreating soon. The Missouri State Guard and Polk's Command. I think this is the same headline we had a few minutes ago. Sometimes these historical flavor headlines repeat before and after a battle. Yeah, rear guard action here, Missouri State Guard. Our fort assaults continue. Still irritated about what's going on with Army of the Missouri, and yeah, they're headed back here to Carrollton. Just go ahead and move the Army commander back here with 8th Corps. Yeah, if you don't have troops attached to the Army HQ, not always, sometimes they'll just pop immediately over. It's just the one guy. I've never seen that occur if there's actually troops directly attached to the Army HQ. Okay, Fort Henry captured. Is that any faster than if I just let the siege roll? I don't know. Oops, someone's on the train somewhere. Where is that? Army of Georgia. Headed up to Carrollton? Okay, maybe the Army of... Let's stop that a second. Maybe the Army of the Mississippi will not be going to Fort Donelson next. How big are these forces? 12,000. 4,500, so just call it 17,000 here. Oh, Army of... That's a pretty substantial force. 17 plus 12. So this is about 35,000 men. McClellan's got 30,000. Men who are sitting right on a river and ready to hop on the river. Okay, let's get these guys back up to Cairo, bring them down to Tennessee. River movement enabled. Well, I thought okay. River movement. No. Okay. Come over to the river first. No. McClellan, you're killing me, bro. Just come here then. Oh, goodness sake. Just stop. They'll still be within his command radius up there. But, well, no, they won't. Shit. But I need him to... right now he's trying to go up here directly. Which I'm not worried about himself. It's just if he, as the Army commander, makes contact over here, then boom, that's an engagement right there. And his forces, with his corps, is reinforcing forces. But they'll be further away. I don't know how that would turn out, as a timeline. So I don't want McClellan himself making contact with these armies. Okay. Well, whatever will happen there will happen. Getting closer on that telegraph. Are we any closer here at Hatteras? Doesn't look... 0 men. I mean, the battery is, quote, broken. However, who's broken? Is it just Wade himself now broken? Yet still holding out with a Confederate advantage. Come on, Grand Tactician. Not your finest hour. Not your finest hour. Still working on these forts? Okay. Let's head back over to Cairo and see how this works out. Oh no, they're not going to Cairo. Nope. They're coming up to... They came up this way in order to loop back around and attack toward... I guess they figured this was their best, fastest route to get to Fort Hyman. Seems like coming this railroad and up this road would have been faster. And now he has juked me into sailing these corps down the river. And by the time the order delay lets them get their order, they'll be down here. Well, let's get... yeah, let's try to get McClellan to about here, so he doesn't make contact. They should be making contact with Fort Hyman first. I know I gave them a garrison brigade. Has it gotten there yet? It has not. 12 days still. So essentially there is no garrison at Fort... Well, there's a little 39-man organic garrison. Okay, let's get these 2 corps. Well, they're still going to go to their previous order. And then we'll just bring them back. We'll let Fort Hyman get besieged. We'll bring these 2 corps down, get involved in the siege, convert to a tactical battle. That should give us a defensive situation, and I think our 30,000 should do okay against these 35 to 37, whatever it is, in these 3 forces. Meanwhile, that just leaves Missouri State Guard has run off somewhere. We do not have vision on them at the moment. They're probably here at this supply depot. Can the Army of Tennessee come over to help? I think so. Let's push ahead over this way with the Army of... Let's push over here with Sherman's Corps. And we'll move the Army of the Tennessee HQ to about halfway between Hooker and Sherman. I think just one of Grant's corps also involved over here should be way more than enough to take care of these forces. Grant gets another perk. Let's go with pontoon train. I think that's the movement speed across small rivers is okay. I'm not choosing it for that, but the supply efficiency plus 10%. I think that's a good one. I often put that down at the corps level. Oh wait, oh, I have messed up. I messed up. Grant has ambulance corps. I gave him that out of habit, when in fact... Oh, well, it actually kind of works out, because neither one of his subordinate corps had taken ambulance corps yet, so I'm not redundant. Okay, in that case, since we've already got ambulance corps on Grant, we're going to give Hooker flying column, and when Sherman opens his first perk slot, he'll get flying column as well. I would normally put ambulance corps there, but we've already got that on the Army command level. Oh, we just got some weapons. This should be Springfield rifle? No, ordnance rifle. Not very many, just 32, just enough for a couple brigades. And I don't know that I have any brigades out there that are in immediate need of rifled artillery. It does bring up the question, though, doesn't have his infantry yet, but he does have these two reinforcement brigades, and these are just intended as reinforcements for the existing battalions. So 5th Battery, we'll just roll you right into here. Still has a gun left. And Bernie, roll right into here. Yes, I just magically created some wireds. And that leaves 5. Okay, and that's a 5-gun, sure. It's just, those are the leftovers. We'll, what are these? These are wireds. Okay, we'll give these guys wireds too. Got enough for that small batch. And I guess that's going to make them a formal unit, not a replacement. So this is going to be the 44th Battalion of District of Columbia troops. We'll wait for those. We'll wait for that infantry to get there, and his guys are still nervous anyway. He's got a low ammo modifier, yet he's at 100% artillery, 96 rifle. And 100% provisions, despite the low food modifier. So maybe these are cleared as far as their causes. It's just that the morale itself hasn't improved back up enough to take them out of that. Maybe the morale just needs now to recover a little bit to take them out of these modifiers, I guess. That's just my best guess. Meanwhile, this fort condition is improving over here. We're going to have to go do that again. Okay. Okay, so these... let's get you out of scout mode. And now they moved out of range of their army commander, which means that the order delay is going to be poor. Well, let's bring them on back down. So here's a nice object lesson going on here. Don't maneuver your forces like I'm doing right now. Making a hash of this. Making a hash of this. Goodness me. Okay, he still has his order. They still have their... So as soon as morning comes, they'll start coming back up the river. Well, now the army of one of these armies looks like they were trying to go the other way. I'm hearing something else on a train. And I don't see anybody with the train icon. Okay. So McClellan's got his corps back in position, but now it's what are these guys doing? And well, they've taken the supply depot. What is this? Oh, they've come to besiege Fort Beauregard, have they? Who did that? Army of the Oconee. Here's a new player. 6,000 men. 4th Corps is involved in that siege, which is heavily in our favor. However, it may not stay that way if Polk's Command or the Army of Tennessee or some other unspotted army down here, that he was coming up on the train. That's what I was hearing, I think. But if one of these other armies gets involved, this may not be so heavily in our favor. Kind of feel like maybe converting to a tactical battle is in our interest here. And that's going to be about 20,000 versus about 6,000. 3 brigades, 2 infantry, 1 cav, and a battalion. So my hope would be that go into a tactical battle and Gustavus Smith simply retreats. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Murfreesboro map. Attacking situation. Here's the objective. The Army of the Oconee did not retreat. Their few units are here right by the objective. They did not put up any fortifications. Hooker has brought his corps up into the town and is about to start advancing across here. Whistler's got some targets there. Let's have these divisions throw some skirmishers out, screen their advance. I don't know why that guy is not moving. I don't want him to do that. Got a little bit of creek cover right over here. I think it'll be all right. These guys are just slow getting through the town here. Weren't really in range yet. I don't know why they stopped moving. And they're retreating. Which is all I was really trying to make them do anyway. Okay. Actually, something interesting might just happen. Huge preponderance of forces. Owning the objective. CSA has gone into retreat phase. The fact that they went into retreat phase, I think, is the determining factor. However, this battle happened so quickly, and because we're in Tennessee, they actually had a little bit higher morale than we did and still do. And technically, this is still a minor defeat for us because we haven't had time to inflict casualties, route units, build up objective VP. I think the fact they went into retreat phase trumps that as more important. But this thing is going to expire showing minor defeat up here. So I'm kind of interested to see what occurs. Set the 10x here, get out of this retreat phase, and what is it going to give us? Okay, minor Federal victory, as it should be. Yeah, we just lost 23 guys. They just lost 45. But I was just trying to make them retreat away from the fort. That goal was accomplished. Okay, so Army of the Oconee retreating from Fort Beauregard, which remains at 100 condition, which was another good reason to go ahead and resolve that. It was a non-battle, but they're retreating and that's all I wanted. That leaves Polk's command sitting here. I think Hooker can cover Nashville on his own. I'm going to go ahead and move Grant. He's in plenty of range. He's fine right where he is. These armies are sitting here at the moment. They don't appear to be doing anything. It is daytime. It's 10 o'clock. So they're not just stopped for the night. They're not moving. I'm going to leave McClellan's Army of the Mississippi, or Army of the Mississippi uncommitted, meaning I'm not going to put one or both of these corps on Fort Donelson. I'm going to leave them uncommitted so that they can deal with whatever these armies do. Despite the loss of the supply depot, McClellan seems to be in fine supply situation. Although it says 55% artillery. Oh, McClellan's got a perk. Okay, his corps have ambulance corps and probably easier to do it from this over here. Okay, they both have ambulance corps. So for Army of the Mississippi at the HQ level, let's go with the pontoon for supply efficiency. So I'm going to leave them uncommitted, and let's bring Sherman's corps up to besiege Fort Donelson, which is a little backwards because Stevens is kind of the fort besieging specialist. But I think this will work okay. And then Hooker's corps can defend Nashville against whatever comes. Second Cav is still... I don't really know that Second Cav is doing anything useful where it is. We don't know where the Missouri State Guard is. How about Fremont? How about you come down here? You're still in scouting mode. How about you take a gander through here? And see if you can catch sight of the Missouri State Guard at either one of these points. Just so we know where he is. Okay, that's this area. Done with our telegraph station over here. Cadwalader finally ready to start moving. Army of the Kanawha. Get the corps. That's the 9th Corps under Hurlbut. And let's just give them the order to go straight to Knoxville. I think there's an army down here. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, Cadwallader himself needs to come down here as well. Arkansas. So these armies are moving up to Carrollton. All right, they're coming to mix it up with Army of the Missouri. They're not very big still. 4,400, 60, call it 7,000 men. And even without his reinforcements, Lyon's got more dudes than that here at Carrollton. If I can get him clicked. Oh, come on. Supply situation is fine. He's got a depot, yellow readiness, stable morale. I think they'll be fine. But if these guys come up here and it initiates as a siege thing, I will let that go into siege in order to allow time for those extra 2 brigades to get to the 8th Corps. And then once they arrive, then I'll convert that into a tactical battle. That's my plan, if that's the way it plays out. Meanwhile, we haven't looked at Virginia in a while during this episode. And looks like it's pretty much the same deal. Still working on our forts up here, and these rebel armies have not made a move. First Cav is still here in scout mode, keeping an eye on things. Are we any closer on this nonsense? No. 0 dudes, Confederate advantage. Battle squadron repairing here at Elizabeth City. And worth noting, we own Norfolk. We do have the fort here, but other than that, we don't have any forces protecting this city. They haven't made a move on it yet. Fingers crossed. Army of North Carolina. That's a newly formed army, 250 strength. Oh, however, Banks has picked up a perk. Well, let's give him the damn siege perk. Maybe that'll help. See, my idea was once this fort was taken, I was just going to send this brigade back somewhere and disband this. Now that Banks has a perk, we've got a corps level force here with a siege perk. So maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll form kind of a fort sieging small corps out of this. An independent corps. If that happens, that will be the 11th. If I decide to do that. I'm not sold on that. Okay, let's see what further shenanigans erupt here. Second Cav moving out, trying to spot the Missouri State Guard. Sherman's moving up to Fort Donelson. These armies remain stationary. McClellan keeping an eye on them. I was thinking about moving these corps across the river. However, oh, here they come. They're in good supply right now. I don't want to mess up that supply flow. So I'm just going to leave them just like they are. They should be close enough. Okay. Fort Donelson siege has commenced. What's Sherman's outlook here? In our favor. Okay, we got 92 guns. There's 41 men here. Just assault the damn place. I honestly don't know if that makes it go any faster, but let's just do it. Yeah, Army of the West, Army of the Missouri is attacked by the Army of the West and the Army of Arkansas. They've got about 6,500 men. We've got 9,000. We do have 7 brigades. Basically the entire force low on morale. Okay, I don't think any of these units are actually broken. Fighting spirit cap is 79.8. There will be some time at the beginning of the battle where they can improve their morale, and actually, as we've seen, it can improve pretty quickly on the tactical map. I'm going to go ahead and gamble here that the morale situation is going to be okay. Okay, defensive situation. Here's the objective. I've set up some breastworks here, and all these brigades and battalions are indeed wavering, except for this newly arrived. This is the small Artie battalion. However, none of these brigades started broken, right? So they're all nervous, but they've all got fighting spirit morale caps up in the 60s, and in a couple cases even the 70s. And there's no broken 30% cap on any of these. So by the time the Confederates get here, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. Got them in breastworks. They've all got the Ace of Spades perk. I've got a little bit of engineering left over. I guess I could have done a parapet for at least one brigade, but it is what it is. And I've got the Cav dismounted because they don't have a perk, and I'm going to have to build a breastwork over here just for their perk slot. And we'll wait for Johnny Reb to arrive. I could have been... There's some fences back here. I was going to set it back here, but I didn't like the slope of the terrain. And I wanted the artillery, the wireds, back up here on this higher ground. So that's why they're forward in this position. And it also gives them a completely open ground in front for their field of fire, and no opportunity for the Confederates to have forest cover. Now they may come up and try to flank, but we'll deal with it. Okay, we had an overnight deployment phase. Previous day began in the middle of the day. Here's our deployment zone, and the CSA forces were not coming down this road straight toward our defensive position. They just weren't. Would have been nice, but they're not doing that. They're marching this way. So I've moved the brigades over here. There's some high ground here. I'm going to move them forward. They'll have some benefit, I hope, of some forest cover in this area. I'm going to try to get the artillery kind of up on this crest. Cav is over here, and fight right in this region. Let's see what happens. And it looks like the artillery can fight right where they are. Still want to get them. Okay. I think their positions seem to be fine for the moment. Let's advance. These brigades about like this. And oh, by the way, they recovered their morale just fine. They're all confident. So that turned out to be a non-issue. It's going to take a little while for the orders to get there because Steedman and Lyon were still back here at the original position. The commanders can't be just moved around themselves during the overnight deployment phase. Well, I guess that was just an initial. Let's move this Artie up here. There is an artillery battalion. Let's go ahead and give Duval. I don't know why his counter battery is grayed out, but maybe because he had another order already coming. Let's move this Cav up a little bit. I don't think he needs his scouts anymore. Yeah, they're continuing to march down toward this road to get to the objective. Guys are going to lose a little bit. Just pull all these storms in. They're not doing any good at the moment. It's easier to see what's going on the paper map. Somebody's skirm was still back here. Didn't move when I redeployed. I still don't. Yeah, we need to get the artillery up a little bit more. Okay. I want skirmishers out because I want those Confederate units engaged by something to stop their march. These brigades are a little bit slow moving through that terrain. No. Andrew's detachment still coming to catch up. He was left behind at the earlier. Okay, skirmishers engaging. That should make these guys stop. Well, I don't know if these wires are ever going to get good shots now that these Confederates are over in the woods. A little skirmisher action going on here. Initial contact. Okay, we're driving in their skirms. Our skirms are moving forward. Let's push these brigades up behind. Steedman forward. Let's get Lion up here. Showing minor defeat. I think that's because of morale, but our morale is good enough. I think we're in fine shape here. It was the 7,000 men, we got over 11,000. Get 1st Division commander by his brigades. Artillery is finding shots over here. It seems weird that they are, but who am I to argue? What about these guys? They don't have a shot. Let's move them over like so. Let's move some cav up right by him, just to make sure he's not exposed. letting the skirmishers soften up Winder's brigade. Then we'll start moving our larger, our brigades in. Sturgis's picket's doing fine. Siegel's doing fine. Tyler's doing fine. Winder pulling back. And there's only artillery back here behind them. They should have more brigades. Wait a minute. Army of Arkansas. Army of Arkansas. Army of Arkansas. Where's the other dudes? Where's the Army of the West? Which is actually the larger of the two. Of two infantry brigades and an artillery. Where are those guys? Okay, a little bit of a change of plan for the Cav. That artillery's not in danger. Bayard, how about you take a quick run down this way and see if you see anything down in this direction. We do have at least a little bit of vision on Shuffle Road on the right. So get your scouts back out. Run down here. Just to make sure. If we don't see anything down this way, and I'll cross the creek and kind of run them up into Willow Garden. Okay, let's push Sweeney's division on in. I'm going to hold McCall back a little bit. Sweeney's division is enough in case he needs to start marching somewhere else. Okay, Winder's the only infantry brigade here is broken. Now it's really just kind of cleaning up the artillery. Firing, firing, firing. Their ammo numbers are orange, but they're plenty high. I don't know why that's showing orange. They're in fine shape for ammo. Well, these two brigades did the crisscross as they had, this guy on the right is moving to the left and vice versa. I don't know why they do that. And I had given them divisional orders earlier to advance. It's not like I crisscrossed them myself with individual brigade orders. I don't think we need these skirmishers in anymore. From that division. These guys can still help out. Okay. Let's just come over here and get a peek on this road. Well, let's go ahead and grab us some artillery here. Oh, here comes the army of the whatever it was. I forgot their name. Army of the West. Okay, so they're coming down this way. Just get the arty kind of reoriented up on this hill, like about that. Let's get 1st Division about like so. Second Division over here. Get Lion moving over, and Steedman. Okay, don't need the Cav moving up anymore. Just go ahead and give him a stop order. Okay. Okay, our guys are moving over. However, the artillery's out in front. I need to get this Cav. He doesn't have scouts out. I need to get the actual Cav. There you go. Let's pull those scouts in, and I need you to come over here and engage that infantry. Keep them from messing up our artillery until the infantry comes up. 2 brigades, 1 horse artillery battalion that has 20 guns for some reason. That's got to be a bug of some type. Well, okay. Here we go with the not being very responsive to being shot at again. Okay, artillery's getting into position and opening up. Don't really know why this battalion is... They've taken a few casualties, but I don't think it's terrible. They are losing morale, and I don't really know why. I mean, yeah, they've taken a few losses, but it's not horrific. Okay, this Cav. Let's go ahead and dismount them. Put them in open order. Well, I think it's too late for that. I think they're just going to have to duke it out like it is. th Bat has come back up to stable. Infantry is now engaging. I think we're fine. Cav, keep pressing. Push that infantry right over to the horse artillery. They're just about to break. Okay, broken. Horse artillery broken. Okay, they're retreating. Okay, pretty small scale battle. Really kind of a big skirmish, but hey, that's kind of the way it goes in the Trans-Mississippi. We lost about 200 men, only 60 of whom outright killed. Captured about 600 small arms, 22 artillery pieces, but when we saw what they were 6-pound field guns, and 200 more house guests at Camp Chase. All right, and Johnny Reb has been thrown back from Carrollton. 2 more brigades coming to the Army of the Missouri, and then we'll head back down to Fort Smith, Arkansas. Got this siege going on here at Fort Donelson. McClellan's Army of the Mississippi stands ready to... looks like this Army of Mississippi, may have moved a little bit, is moving down. But I think that will do for this episode. 3 tactical battles, none of which were particularly, but some smaller scale battles going on here, rather frequent, and a lot of operational level movement in this episode that I thought was pretty interesting. Some interesting decisions here in Tennessee with what to do with these corps. And, with me sailing back and forth on the rivers, I'm not sure I did that as efficiently as I could have. And really the only thing I'm super irritated with on this particular episode is this Hatteras situation is just dumb. I don't know what to say about that. All right. If you like what we're doing with the channel, if you like this content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you're new to the series and the channel would like to catch other episodes in this campaign that you may not have seen, I'm linking the playlist. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.